Hi all, I'm Mr. Mendoza, a second grade teacher at Webb Du Bois Charter Academy with Agape Schools. I hope that you enjoy this next story. You've heard of Cinderella, you've heard of Cenicienta in Spanish, you've heard of many different Cinderella stories that are basically from our past, a long time ago. And these fairy tales, you have kings and princesses and so on and so forth. This is a little different. This has a bit of a twist to it because now there are modern stories of Cinderellas and many people like that. Hopefully that you enjoy this next story. Title of Cinderella. From the picture, we can think, hold on, this isn't going to be, this doesn't have any castles in it. There's a boy in some kind of a sports um, suit, and there's a big-eyed, strange-looking girl with a spatula. There aren't any fairy godmothers in this one. Maybe there are some wicked people. Who knows? Let's try to think about this one. In all of these fairy tales, the main thing is comparing and contrasting. You can take one story, such as Cinderella, compare and contrast to Cinderella or Yeshen or whatever else. Many other stories. Mufaro's daughters. There's another African tale of uh, Cinderella. You can compare, think, what are they the same? How are they the same? You can contrast. You think Cinderella, in Cinderella, this happened, but in Cinderella, this other thing happened that's different. Or you just can't say it happened in this story, but it didn't happen. That's not a very good way to tell the differences between both stories. Let's say, for example, in certain stories like Yeshen, she only had one stepdaughter or one stepsister. And in Cinderella, she had two stepsisters. In Yeshen, she went to a festival, but in Cinderella, she went to a ball. Those are two different ways. But let's read on to see what this story is all about. You can also draw and writing and arting, draw and write, draw a picture and write your own version of Cinderella. You can try that one on for size. And locate Mexico on a map or globe. Describe its location and three things you noticed about the country to a partner. Cinderella? Obviously, it's a Mexican tale. Let's go. Cinderella. How is the story the same as the fairy tale Cinderella? How is it different? Some things. Chores. Hey, hold on. Cinderella had chores. National pitch, spatula, tryouts, and uniform. A boy named Mateo lived in a small town. Mateo's father taught him how to pitch a baseball. Sadly, Mateo's father died. Later, Mateo's mother married a rich man. Mateo and his mother were thrilled. The man had twins named Primo and Guapo. I guess those are Primo and Guapo. They don't look very happy. And again, this time the mother died, and now he has a stepfather, not a stepmother. One day, the coach of the National Little League team came to town. He was holding tryouts. Mateo wanted to go. You can't go, Primo laughed. We don't have a uniform, said Guapo. Their father agreed. Ah, so now we can compare and say these are the wicked ones in this family. They're not allowing him to play sports. It's not about going to a ball or feeding each other. No, it's about sports. Mateo watched the other boys play. Then someone called his name. It was the lady from the taco cart. She said, I'm your fairy godmother. She doesn't look like no stinking godmother. She looks like a cook of some sort. Why don't you play? She asked. I don't have a uniform, he said. She waved her magic spatula. Mateo looked down at his new uniform, smiling. Now no one will know it's you, the fairy godmother said. But you must leave the minute the tryouts are over, she added. Ah, that's a cover picture for the story. I guess the magic wand is a spatula. So she is the fairy godmother. There is a fairy godmother, but this one's a little bit different. Same thing, leave the tryouts as soon as they're over. On the day of the tryouts, Mateo was the pitcher and got every boy out. Ooh, Mateo was the best. Later that day, there were more tryouts. Mateo got every boy out again. When it was over, the team crowded around him. He's awesome, isn't he? Mateo ran home, but he lost one shoe. He looked down. His new uniform was gone. The coach looked all over for the star pitcher. Every boy in town tried on the shoe. At Mateo's house, the twins tried on the shoe, but it didn't fit. Then Mateo tried. Oh, there's a big difference. In Cinderella, there was a king. In Yeshen, there were the king's people. This one is all about a coach. And why? Because it's about a game. The shoe fit. Mateo will be our start pitcher. Did I skip one? The shoe fit. Mateo will be our star pitcher, said the coach. And the twins will be our towel boys, he added. Oh, I bet they weren't very happy. And again, always the wicked siblings, we'll call them, because in all stories they have siblings. All stories, you can compare them and say all of them have wicked siblings. Some of them have two sisters, some only one. This one has two wicked step brothers. And again, the wicked step brothers or sisters always end up with sad, needing something else, being envious of Cinderella or the main character. In this one, all of them, they don't look very happy about being the towel boys, but they should be because Mateo deserves it. He's the best at it. Here's a glossary with words. Chores, you know what a chore is. A small job or tasks that must be done regularly. National, cross, or relating to an entire country or nation. Pitch, to throw a ball to a batter in a game of baseball or softball. Spatula, a long-handled kitchen tool with a wide flat surface that is used to mix, spread, or lift things. Tryouts, events where activities are used to test how good people are in athletics or performing. Uniform, matching clothes worn by members of a group. Hope you enjoyed this story and look for other Cinderella stories, not only on my YouTube channel, but just look for Cinderella stories on YouTube, and I bet you'll find many more. Thank you for being part of this video. And again, a great thing with these fairy tales is that you have to, one, be able to tell me how the characters feel. That's very important to understand. Main characters, a setting, the who, what, when, where, why, how, and a bunch of other questions that are related to understanding the story as you should understand it. No matter what grade level you're in, you should be able to understand stories and be able to talk to them about. But mainly on these fairy tales, it's about comparing one story from another country and so on and so forth, comparing both of those stories, saying what are their similarities, and tell me their differences. In this story, this, in that story, that. Remember, when you tell a difference, it's not, in this story, there was a wicked stepmother. In this story, there wasn't. Oh, that's not a good comparison. You tell me exactly what. In this story, there was a wicked stepmother. In this one, there was a wicked stepfather. That's a good comparison. Please look for more.